Majority House Leader H. William DeWeese and his Republican opponent, Greg Hopkins, met with voters in western Greene County Monday evening. The bipartisan meet and greet was hosted by members of Harvey's Grange in Graysville, Pennsylvania. Bonus gate, legislative experience, along with rural environmental issues such as water supply, dominated most of the discussion. 10-minute introductory speeches were followed by audience questions.
Bonus gate illustrates the abuse where taxpayer money is to be used for legislative duties is blatantly misused to pay staffers for campaign work and then reward them with a bonus for the illegal service. There's to be no intermingling of taxpayer money for campaign work. And in a small town community like we have here, it's the first time that I've ever seen a DeWeese legislative office on Elm Street in Waynesburg and a DeWeese campaign office on High Street. Remember, the Attorney General has never said my opponent was free and clear of any of these charges. Reform, as I mentioned earlier, has occurred to some degree already. Because I've campaigned on reform issues and I've stood up to say I've had enough. I'm not going to take it anymore. Mr. DeWeese now drives a pickup truck and not a limousine.
I'm privileged to represent as a staff leader 876 workers in the Capitol complex and around the state. And certainly it's well known that 10 of these people allegedly committed misdeeds. The judicial system will work its way through to conclusion, but I'm certainly not happy about those allegations. And I share with Greg a sense of disgust at some of the behavior I witnessed. The bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to accept any kind of inference that my integrity is secondary. My mother and father, just like Greg's wonderful mother and father, raised a Greene County boy. And again, I don't have Greg's athletic talents, but I had his hustle. I was the captain of our high school baseball team. I went to a Division I college to play baseball and got cut my second year because I wasn't talented enough to hit that curveball in the ACC. But I joined the Marine Corps and served in a peacetime environment and came home and went to Harrisburg and worked my way up through the chain of command, so to speak.
Jack Roney from Masontown, and this question is for Mr. DeWeese. Everything in here revolves around money. You have been in office over 30 years. Your district is the second and third poorest in the state, correct, sir? Okay.
The statistics are accurate.
In the last 10 years, you have received an increase of 50% in your pension. Can you explain to the poor people in here who have trouble making their bills and their taxes how you're worth $100,000 a year pension, or is it 90? Sorry, if it's 90, I apologize. Thank you.
Did everybody hear the question?
I think they did.
There are about 3 people in the House and 1 in the Senate. There are 4 people out of 253 that have the pension that I have, and they all serve as either Speaker of the House or President of the Senate.
I don't understand why Pennsylvania, West Virginia, how we always look down on them, is so far ahead of us on minerals. They have, quote, severance tax. You hate the word tax, but they tax all minerals that come out of their ground. Therefore, they're not left with people who do not have water that were mined, because they can take those severance taxes and put it back and give the people water, sewage, all those kinds of things. But we won't do that in Pennsylvania because it's a tax. But we'll take grant money that is our money to pay back ourselves. And somewhere I think Pennsylvania needs to reform to this. I'm in Aleppo, and I'll rue the day that I ever see public water in Aleppo. I'll rue the day. Windridge might get it, and that was because of Graysville School, a lot of it. They closed the school in Aleppo. I'll rue the day that I ever get public water, whether I'm mined or not. But this is wrong, that we don't have, that our Pennsylvania government does not tax those things or require these companies that take everything we have and don't give back to us our infrastructure.
Roslyn, I'll take a shot at that. An email last time I ran 2006 about the state of Wyoming and what they do with their natural resources. So you're comparing us to West Virginia, which is right next door. This comes out of Wyoming. And in Wyoming, they will have what they call a natural resource tax. And they tax not only their natural gas, and their coal, but their timber. Every natural resource they have comes out of that state is placed under this natural resource tax. And under that tax, it's used to fund their school district. And they have school districts in Wyoming, the best school districts in the country. People move there in droves just for that reason.